Today we're going to be talking about how to set up Eclipse to cross-build U-boot. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and start Eclipse. Go ahead and just take the default settings. Remember that we've gone through and installed Eclipse and added some necessary plugins. If you haven't done that, now's a good time to click on the link in the description. That'll take you to the blog post that walks you through those steps. All right, it's up and running. Let's go ahead and import our U-boot files into the project. So first thing we're going to do is select import. Go ahead and import an existing makefile project. This will be a cross project, so we'll click on that. Only need C for this particular one. Go ahead and enter in a name for your project. This is going to be for the IMX board, so we'll just go ahead and take that. Again, we downloaded the U-boot source code from the Git repository earlier. Go back to the blog if you need to give that a shot. All right, so when we first bring it in, Eclipse is going to go through and index this. In the meantime, go get yourself a cup of coffee, some other type of beverage. I'll speed it up so we don't have to go through the duration of that. All right, so that's done. Let's go ahead and go on to the next steps. So what we need to do now is we need to set up the build environment. So all the code is in Eclipse in our project and indexed. So what we need to do is just go into properties, under project, select environment, and go ahead and first thing we want to do is modify our path. Since we are using a cross compiler, we just need to go ahead and put a path to that so it knows exactly where the tools are. We installed this earlier in its default location here in the home directory. Let's go ahead and get this path. Just do a cut and paste. Later on, we'll need to be adding some more variables for the build. We did this earlier in the blog, so I'm just going to go ahead and cheat a little bit and bring those up onto the command line. First thing to do is add the path. So paste that in there. Don't forget to add a trailing / and colon. It's added. Now we'll go ahead and put the remainder of the environmental variables from our shell earlier. Make sure that they're available to all projects. We'll start here by specifying which architecture we will be building for. In this case, it's the ARM64. There we go. We'll also need to be adding the prefix for the cross compiler. Since this can be pretty much anything, what this allows us to do is just the build tools will append this to any of the particular tools that it's using. Add that. See, everything's set up. Apply and close, and it will re-index. Remember that when I added each of these, I put it so that it would work with every configuration. That way we can have different configurations for debugging or for just building and deploying, building and testing, whatever features you want to use here in Eclipse. I sped this up any further, I figured even faster, because last time I figured it was enough for us to go through. Enjoy that. Again, now's a good time. Get something else to drink. Get your, check your email. All right, so that's all done. So first I'm going to do is clean the project. In the previous steps, we went ahead and built that from the command line. We just want to make sure that none of those artifacts are left. There. Now we'll go ahead and build it in Eclipse. Verify that we actually can build the project. There you go. The output here in the console is pretty much exactly what we had when we built it from the command line. Perfect. So it took about 52 seconds, 51, 52 seconds, which is good, not too long. But on longer projects, you might be saying, well, that's a bit long, or is there some way I can take advantage of having multiple processors? So those of you who are not familiar with Eclipse, in order to do that, again, you have to go back in. I'll go ahead and clean this out. We'll go back into the build properties. Just right click here on the project. Properties. What we do is to C build, click on behavior. I'm going to go ahead and enable parallel build. We have 2 processors in our VM, so I usually like to double that. So I'll go ahead and do 4 processors. Apply, close, and rebuild. There you go. It took substantially less time here. It only took 34, 35 seconds to complete the build this time. Compare that to our previous value of 52. And obviously on a longer project, this would be a great savings, not having to redo that every time and take advantage of all your processors. Thank you for joining us.